understand that does not mean often doing that separately. Sometimes you do that as a couple. Sometimes you do that as a husband and wife. Sometimes you're going to do that. You can't negate doing it individually, but you do have to do your best to understand that corporately you're going to work on this together. Last progression point. Whole people build whole relationships and marriages. Christ knew, then Christ gave. Christ understood. Years went on that we aren't able to really understand what Christ was doing. So many theologians knew that he was studying everything he needed to know, not just about God, but who God called him to be. And I think it's even before he disappeared for a little bit because Mary had to yoke him up. He said, "Don't you know I got to be about my Father's business?" And what you really have to understand is that you are a part of God's business. So, is that not also the loving part of marriage? Understanding that who you are committed to is absolutely part of the responsible behavior we are meant to walk in so that we can prioritize our awareness. You have to be committed to doing it together, because marriage is going to, and not just even marriage, but relationships that then lead to marriage, that's going to be something that you're going to have to remain committed to doing it together. My wife and I, we identified a few different things in our relationship, and we're like, yeah, we really have to work through consistency a little bit better, and you have to know that whatever you challenge each other on becomes for the betterment of the both of you, because you realize that two broken pieces on the way to becoming a whole piece is a blessing. And then you realize you come together as one and realize God makes it a whole piece. Part of the marriage vows is that you're three chords. You realize that you plus your spouse or your significant other plus God allows for there to be a culmination of broken pieces that can work whole, even though they may seem that they came from broken places. But you got to know what that place is. You have to know what that place is. So as you grow and understand what that is, I want you to take some time to do some journaling. So that's one of the things that I wanted to focus a little bit, because yes, when it comes to doing this, there's probably already enough internal thought that we're doing with ourselves. However, I would like for there to only be one journal with you all today. And here goes the journal. The journal says, where might someone in relationship with me be paying the price for something I refuse to see within myself? Let me say it again. Where might someone in relationship with me be paying the price for something I refuse to see in myself? Now, y'all, what you have to realize, that relationship is going to be some level of pushing. Relationship is going to be challenging. And if it's not challenging, if it does not make you have to re-examine yourself, I have to ask, what kind of relationship are you in? Because we don't do toxic relationships. As Les Brown says, only qualified people. Go back in the playlist and you'll see that we talked about that, but only qualified people. And as we're wrapping up for tonight, I want to make sure that we give everybody the opportunity to understand and know. Awareness is not about having everything together. Awareness is not about giving yourself permission to hate yourself. It's actually giving you permission to love yourself.